What's up, guys? All right, part three. By the way, I've always done this my entire life, or this, or this, as opposed to this. For some reason, I don't know why. It's always been hard for me to like grab my pinky. It's just one of those weird things. All of our hands are different. I can do the old Spock thing, so I don't know. Anyway, I have my scores here for this chocolate war. As well as my notes, which I typed in the computer for easily, well, it's more legible typed out, so I don't have to read my chicken scratch. But I have a winner. Now, this is my personal winner for this challenge. There's 6 judges, so the overall winner will be the person who has the best score out of all 6 judges. So, yes, it is an even number, and yes, there possibly could be a tie. So we'll see what happens with that. But this will just be my conclusion between these 2 chocolates, just my opinion, and then I'll make one final quick video just letting you guys know the overall winner throughout all the judges. So anyway, once again, we have the Madison Chocolatiers West with their P-Bomb chocolate going head-to-head with Peppermaster's Scorpion chocolates. Okay, both of these companies make fantastic products. Both of these products that I've tested for this little war have been phenomenal. They've both been very good. They have their pros, they have their cons. In fact, I would still recommend both of them. Just because I pick a winner, it's for specific reasons, which I'll talk about. I still think the other one offers quite a bit for your money. So, first off, I'm going to give you the overall description. Everything I thought of. This is some stuff that I wrote down. And I'm going to start with talking about the Scorpion chocolates from Peppermaster. All right, so here's my notes. High quality dark chocolate, high cocoa percentage dark, meaning that it's more of a bitter dark chocolate. I'm thinking like expensive chocolate bar, 80% cacao, whatever. Really high end, really high percentage. Some people don't like that because it's bitter as opposed to sweet, but it's more pure. So that's the first thing I noticed. That was just upon letting the chocolate melt in my mouth. Also, a little spicy, warmed my lips and tongue slightly. So the chocolate had a little bit of heat in it. Now this was melting my mouth before I got to the center, which was like a jelly center. So I was getting a little bit of heat from the chocolate itself. The center was a smooth liquid type jelly. Okay, so it wasn't like jelly, like you'd scoop it out of a cold out of your refrigerator, where it's kind of more gelatinous, stays together. I don't know. It felt like if you made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and left it out all day in the sun, that jelly would kind of liquefy. That's what this was. It was more of a flowing, liquidy jelly as opposed to a colder, more solid jelly. If that makes any sense, okay? But it wasn't, the temperature in the room was totally fine, everything. It's just the consistency of the jelly, which actually I preferred. As far as jelly is concerned, I like it kind of the extremes. I either like a runny jelly like that, or I like it jelly like almost like a licorice type, like really hard, chewier jelly. So as far as the texture, totally fine for me, very acceptable. Just want to make a note that it is like that. So it's not like your PB&J jelly. It's more of a runny jelly. So yes, a liquid style jelly. It flowed out as soon as I bit into it, and I was immediately hit with heat, but not too much. Total throat burn lingered for about 3 minutes, as well as an overall mouth burn, mostly the roof of my mouth, then it went away completely. I also wrote here, the center was slightly sweet with lots of tangy citrus / pepper flavor. All right, so yes, it had a punch, like almost when you bite into a lemon, or if you have lemon juice, or some kind of like a sour thing where your mouth kind of puckers. I wasn't ready for that. I didn't know what to expect. It could have went totally sweet, could have been totally bitter, but in this case, for me, it was a very tangy, soury type, like immediate hit. But then it had some sweetness to it too. As far as the flavor of it, it had a straight pepper flavor. Okay, so it wasn't like a strawberry jelly or whatever with a little bit of heat. I mean, it tasted like the peppers that was used to heat it, okay, which in this case would be a variety of scorpions, I would assume by the name Scorpion Chocolates. It was very nice. It was very good. Yes, it was orange in color. You can't tell this because it's really dark, but I took a little out my finger to look at it because I wanted to make a note of that. So it is orange in color, so the pods were probably orange, some orange or yellow or maybe even a combination of red and yellow ones, which obviously makes orange, in the batch. The chocolate complemented the center very well with both a different texture and a different heat level, and I wrote opposites attract. This is one of those candies where I thought it was complementary. The center to the shell was very good because they both offered different things. And like I said, opposites do attract. In this case, as I'm letting it melt in my mouth, I'm getting a little bit of heat. It's kind of a warm, tingly feeling, somewhat bitter on the chocolate with just a little bit of sweetness. And of course, once I bit into it, it basically exploded in my mouth with flavors because of the consistency. The thickness of the jelly was runny. So when I bit into it, it was just poof, and immediately got hit with the heat. I got hit with the tanginess of that jelly. It was a really good experience. I liked it. Kind of like a surprise. Like, I love Gushers. I haven't had Gushers in forever. The little, fruit chewy things with like the juice inside. Same type thing, it's good on the outside, delicious. You bite into it, whole different thing. It's basically two experiences in one, but each one offers completely different things. So I liked it. I liked it a lot. Now, I'll go over scores in a second. Let's talk about the P-Bomb. P-Bomb chocolates from Madison Chocolatiers West. Here's my notes on that. Dark chocolate, great quality on the sweeter side or a lower cocoa percentage. Okay, so yes, this was definitely a commercial type dark chocolate. So basically, the P-Bombs are to Hershey's dark chocolate as the Scorpion chocolates were, say, 90% dark. Okay, the darker chocolate is definitely more what I would consider a sophisticated chocolate, but for the masses, the average people wouldn't want a bitterness in their chocolate, so they might prefer the Madison's P-Bomb dark, which was definitely on the sweeter side. So it's dark chocolate, but it's not that bitter, gross if you don't like dark chocolate. So it's definitely tolerable for people who are not totally into dark chocolate, which is a plus. That's a plus for the masses. That's a general purpose plus. But also great quality, definitely. Both companies, they know their chocolate. There's no question there. Let's see. Intense flavor from the flour, which is on top, which you showed in the video there. Very rich, tasted sweeter than most dark chocolates. Again, probably a lower percentage or just a regular sweeter dark chocolate. Now, I had noted that there's no heat at all on the chocolate. It was very smooth and creamy, and it melted quite fast in the mouth. Okay, so the melting point was faster than on the Peppermaster's Scorpion chocolates. Okay. Now the center, very interesting on the P-Bombs. The center was a whitish or off-whitish nougat. I love saying nougat, and it is delicious. Who doesn't like nougat, right? Yes, a whitish or off-whitish nougat with small pieces of dried cherries and pecans. In two pieces that I opened up or cut open, it looked like it was one large dried cherry and one large pecan. So I don't know if they were all like that or if the other ones had little pieces, but generally speaking, that's about what you get in there as far as quantity. Now, I didn't write this down, but I'm just saying this offhand. You did taste both quite a bit, so it doesn't matter what the quantity was. The flavor was definitely there. So yes, well, when I initially tasted this, my notes I didn't see what was inside. I was just going by my flavors and what I was feeling. But I have here small pieces of dried cherries and pecans, both being quite soft and cooked in texture, as well as chewy or wet. So again, not a crisp, like toasted nut, crunchy, not like that at all. The cherry was very chewy as well. Again, being in the batch with the nougat or being cooked or whatever, or just sitting in liquids, they were softened, which was very, very good. It was chewy. The center carries all the heat in this one, which slowly crept up to a full mouth burn all the way around and a strong throat burn, which lasted for about 5 minutes. The chocolate complemented the center very much as any candy bar would. Soft, velvety, sweet dark chocolate encrusting a soft, chewy, but very creamy nougat center. The extremes of the very hot center and no heat on the chocolate shell was a good match, as well as it gave a nice surprise when I bit into it. So yes, letting it melt my mouth, I'm thinking, oh, this is nothing, it's not hot or anything. And when I bit into it, just boom. And this is, again, kind of the opposites attract type thing. Didn't know what to expect. It's delicious, enjoying it. And then just all the flavor when you bite into it, it's like, oh, this is so good. And all of a sudden the heat starts creeping in. And it gets hotter and hotter and hotter. And like, here we're on a level playing field here, okay? You bite into it, it's like, oh my god, it's so delicious, and you're like, and it just keeps climbing. Like, this is amazing deliciousness, and then like the heat starts coming up here, and it still tastes good, but you're forgetting about the heat because it's starting to get hot, and that's just kind of the experience you get. And at some point, you don't taste it anymore. You're done with it. You swallowed it, and you're left with this heat, this reminder that you just ate a pea bomb. Don't forget it. So it was pretty cool. I liked that experience a lot. I really liked it. Overall, it was very much like a standard large company production candy bar. Okay, whereas the Scorpion chocolates from Peppermaster definitely seem like um, a delicacy that you wouldn't find like in a commercial store. You wouldn't go to your food store and find those. It's something that's like a specialty shop would have. Whereas the pea bombs, although the heat level was way past anything that would be commercial, because they wouldn't. A large company like Snickers or Nabisco, whatever, any kind of candy company, they wouldn't make something that hot because of liabilities. They wouldn't want kids getting sick. They wouldn't want old people croaking. You just won't find that in a commercial thing. You have to get that. That's a specialty item. But heat aside, like if they made a non-hot version of this, same recipe, same everything, take away the heat, awesome. It would make a fantastic candy bar. You put a snazzy name on it, and instead of a little square piece, you make a bar out of it. Forget it; they'll sell like crazy. Absolutely delicious. So I like that. A very familiar type candy type experience. It was really good, really really good. Let's see. Other notes are overall the pea bombs were very much richer than the Scorpion chocolates. They were uh, a little bit creamier overall, and definitely hotter overall. Okay, now I also have a note here. I later tried one without the flour on top and had an equally enjoyable experience. Only difference was the dark chocolates. It wasn't as sweet, that outside, as well as the cherries were a very muted flavor. I think that flour opened up my taste buds, and that cherry hit me a lot stronger when chewing the flour first. Without the flour, still delicious, but just very subdued in the cherry and the nut flavor as well, the pecan. So that's pretty much it for my notes. Like I said, I still love them both overall. Here's the scores, and I'll tell you the scores and why I gave it to them. Now, there's different categories. The first one is the chocolate. Okay, just purely on the quality and taste and experience of the chocolate. 5 being the best score you can get, 1 being the lowest. I gave Madison Chocolatiers West a 5. Okay, the chocolate quality was perfect. I'm a fan of dark chocolate. Now, I can do the artisan type dark chocolates, like the really high percent cocoa, but they are bitter. They are an acquired taste. It is what you consider a sophisticated palate. And sometimes I want to think like this is delicious because it's so expensive and blah, 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 blah. Sweeter is better a lot of the times. And a commercial type dark chocolate just hit the spot. It was delicious. I really liked it. So they got a 5 out of 5 on the chocolate. The Peppermaster Scorpion chocolates, I gave a 3 out of 5 for the chocolate quality overall. Still very, very good. Knocked some points down because the chocolate itself, it took longer to melt. Not a huge deal, but in a competition type arena here, I'm trying to consider every little factor. So it took a little bit longer to melt in my mouth. As well as just the overall flavor. Like I said, it was a little bit better than middle of the road, so I figured a 3 would be appropriate for that. Not bad at all, but in comparison, not as good. Now, next would be the heats. Now, I'm judging this with the assumption that I want it as hot as possible. Okay, this can go either way. If you're not into something spicy and it was really hot, you'd probably rank it low. Like, I didn't enjoy that. I'm gonna give it a low number. That's not the point. We're talking about the best, tastiest, super hot chocolate out there. So the hotter, the better. And there's no question here at all. I gave Madison Chocolatiers West a 3 out of 5 for heat, which I mentioned in their video review, as well as giving Peppermaster a 2. Both of those numbers were mentioned in those videos. Reason being, even though it was really hot, the pea bombs they're pretty hot. They're hotter than most people would enjoy in their chocolate. Okay. But it wasn't killer. Killer to me is a 5, and it wasn't killer at all, and I wouldn't even consider it a 4, just considering some of the things I've had before. I think that the sugars and the chocolate, and of course the fillings in both candies, definitely tones down these super hots. These Scorpions, these Nagas, they're extremely, extremely hot peppers. But what you're getting out of this in using it in confectionaries is you're using it in, first of all, smaller quantities, but in different ways, whether it's the pepper powder or slightly bigger flakes, you know. In this case, no one's using any extracts of any kind, but you definitely get the flavor of these peppers, which is really unique, and it really it does something special with the chocolate together. Um, and I think both companies did use the powders predominantly for this because it's the easiest to incorporate and still keep a consistent heat level by doing that, because you can measure it out pretty precisely. And you don't want just like a lot of chocolate and a chunk of pepper, because it'll kind of be a totally different experience. Very well done by both companies. Yes, the heat I gave a 3 for Madison. The Madison P-Bombs, that's as hot as I would ever want in a candy to actually enjoy. If I'm not making a video, I'm not trying to impress anyone, I'm not trying to entertain anyone, I'm just in my living room enjoying something somewhat spicy, that's about as spicy as I want it, and will still have a big smile on my face and say that was delicious. Once you start getting hotter than that, it's just uncomfortable. It's not an enjoyable experience to me. But still, I would say for a chili head, it is a huge, huge bonus. I mean, because you can't find that stuff in your store. You just can't get it that hot. But you still get an awesome flavor that comes with it. So the next thing was the combination between the filling and the chocolate itself. Now this is kind of twofold. It's the filling itself with the combination with the chocolate. I gave both of them a 5. I thought they were both equally well done. Like I said, they both had their different things going on. The Pepper Masters Scorpion chocolates had the black and white, the yin and yang, you know. I like the opposites of that. The hard chocolate shell, slight bitterness, and like I said, you bite into it, it's a completely different, I mean, just turns 180 on you. Now you have this tangy, slightly sweet explosion of kind of citrusy pepper flavors. Phenomenal. I really, really liked it. And on the flip side, the Madison P-Bombs, like I said, very much a more familiar, commercialized Snickers bar slash Three Musketeers, just what I'm used to. The only thing is extra delicious and extra super hot. So very, very cool on both of you guys. Both got a 5 for that. So it comes down to pretty much the last category, but if you can do your math, you're already ahead of me. I should have done this a different way so you couldn't guess. But anyway, try not to think. Stop thinking. Let me give you the last score here, and then I'll tell you the winner. The last thing was the presentation. Now, obviously, this is the first thing you notice, but I made presentation its own category here. I think when you're buying something, we eat with our eyes first. Now, I've said this before. You can have a delicious meal, and if it's slopped together, it just looks like crap. It could be physically delicious. On the flip side of that, you can have horrible tasting food, and if it's presented right in a right way to you, I shouldn't say horrible, but if you can have like so-so food, but if it's presented properly to you, your brain thinks it's better than it is. Okay. Now, like I said, we do eat with our eyes first. If we have a good presentation, if something looks rich and snazzy and delicious and kind of upscale and white collar and just amazing, then in our brain we're thinking we even smell it, we didn't eat it, nothing, but we're thinking that's going to be good because it looks good. Okay, as opposed to a pile of slop, which may taste delicious, but we're not ready for that. Our brain's not on that page yet. So I think presentation plays a big role. A big role. Obviously, flavor overall is the most important thing, but presentation is very important in my opinion. And I had to give presentation to Peppermaster. I gave him a 5 as opposed to Madison's, which I gave a 4. Now, Madison Chocolatiers West had a really nice presentation. The whole package thing going on, consistent. The colors were all matching. The whole purple thing, which is their company color pretty much. The bow was fun to take off. I mean, the tissue paper, the whole thing felt very ritzy. Really liked it. The chocolates looked decadent. The flower on top, really nice touch, very unique. Loved it. But there's one simple thing about Peppermaster that definitely, I mean, it's the only score that they scored better than Madison, but I think they hit a home run with this, and it's such a simple thing. They put that little plastic clear presentation window in their box. If I'm walking into a store buying something, I want to see what I'm buying. I like that a lot, that I can actually see the chocolate without purchasing it. Now, of course, a lot of their sales I would imagine, come from internet sales, so not a lot of people get to see it anyway. But just the two of them side by side, little things attracted me. I was staring at Peppermaster's stuff more. Visually, I went to them. The window. fantastic. I can actually see what I'm about to purchase, what I'm about to consume. The presentation in the Madison's box was beautiful, but I couldn't see it. It was all wrapped up. It was a present. It was a surprise. When you're buying something, you don't necessarily always want a surprise. Um, Peppermaster, I thought, did it better. They slightly got it better. Plus the whole red. We're talking about hot chocolates. Show me some fire. Show me some red, some lava, some volcanoes or something. So they hit a home run with that. So A plus with that. Um, Unfortunately, they were just a step below the rest of the way to Madison's as far as everything else goes. So overall, Peppermaster chocolate they got a 3, heat they had a 2. The filling and combination was a 5, and the presentation was a 5. So they had 5, 10, and they had 15. 15 out of a 20 total. Madison Chocolatiers West, the chocolate got a 5. The heat got a 3. The filling or combination of the filling and the outside got a 5. And the presentation got a 4. So overall, they had a 17. So congratulations, Madison Chocolatiers West. You won by 2 points. It was a tough battle. Both companies made some fantastic stuff, but overall, I like theirs better. That's it. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this fun little series. It was like kind of a surprise thing. Perhaps it'll happen again in the future with some other companies, or who knows, maybe Peppermaster wants some revenge now and they want to make something bigger and badder in the future. Whatever you've gotten out of this series, I hope it was enjoyable and entertaining. Like I said, I can definitely recommend both these companies completely if you want to get some kind of novelty chocolate for a holiday or a special occasion, or if you just randomly have been interested in watching all of us eat this stuff and now you have to try it for yourself. All the links and stuff will be in the description box if you want to purchase any of the stuff from these people. The P-Bombs were a special thing that were made for this competition. I'm not sure if they're going to start selling them. I think they have them on pre-order, but they don't have them, like everything is obviously freshly made, but it's not something they're planning on making, I don't think, unless there's more of an interest. So if you want to try these things, definitely talk to them. They're both custom, confectionery shops. If there's something very specific that you really want, they make peanut butter cups with bacon in it. How can you get any better than that? But let's say, for example, you have a better idea than that, which is probably impossible because that sounds like heaven. And you're like, hey, I really want, like, I don't know, a chocolate ball filled with bits of strawberries and kiwi, whatever your deal is. You can, like, talk to them, send them an email, and be like, I'd like this. Can you make that? And I'm sure they could. It's all a matter of price and, like, how much you're willing to buy and that kind of thing. So yeah, don't be afraid to give ideas, give suggestions, ask questions, be polite, be respectful to all these people. And speaking of all these people, a big thank you to everyone involved. Everyone. It was very enjoyable. I really appreciate the experience. It was very cool. And I hope we do it again. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I thank you again for watching the video. And I will have a short video in the near future, just basically a recap to say who won overall, because there's 6 judges with 6 different opinions. And we'll see what the majority of the people thought about this. So that's it. Back to knives. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.